But is it really scuffing? If this was the plan all along. What a twist. What do you mean I'm under arrest? What the frick? Oh, right. Well, that's, I guess, a good spot to put the audio game capture back in. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm under arrest, apparently. Hi. This is an After Dark stream. I'm not going to bother with the starting up. I'm just going to do whatever the frick I want, and I'm not even going to do postings. If people notice, yay! If people don't notice, don't worry about it. I am finally home from a very long day, so thy fuckeths are not given. This is welcome to Scuffery. Welcome to Runescuff, in which I am grinding Slayer, Strength, Prayer, and whatever else comes to mind in this tiny little mind of mine. I'm gonna fight the baby blue dragons. I didn't even need to bring this shield. I don't even know why I brought the shield. Yep, there you go. I'm trying to read that damn emote's description, what the hell. Also, hi Mike, hi Mega Man, hi Alice. Much boop, much boop, much boop. Eee. Much woof. Runescape sounds like something a maid does at a hotel. A character of one of my friends actually is a giant maid, so considering that she's able to pull the rooms out like little drawers, that I guess she could scrape it all away. Midnya. Oh, that is cursed, but I love it. Hi T-Foxer. Hi Biscuit. Oh, you can't sleep? Oh no. Well, stay a while and listen as I play Runescuff, old school style. Like I was just saying, there's no real plan, there's no attack pattern. The room that I'm currently in order to stream my Discord at is only accessible to one other person. So if they happen to show up, then that's cool. I have an Arizona sweet tea in front of me, and I've got some water as well. I am back from having to drive all the way up to Pennsylvania and back, which was a total round trip of 10 hours. No, you're not going to tackle me and knock me over. You're going to tackle me and get snuggled. Arizona sweetie. Phew. I mean, despite the fact that I had to drive 3 hours up, 3 hours back, and have it in between down there and everything like that, it was actually a pretty good day. I had some pretty successful discussions with folks in the official audio business and everything. The only technical downside is my dad is still not aware that I plan to move, so he was scheming a lot of future plans that aren't going to really hash out if that stays together. What do you mean you're emotionally drained? Why are you emotionally drained? I don't understand. I have not been around, so I'm not very much aware. Hey, Drock 6 the hybrid. Just had 13-ish on Monday, Tuesday, but thankfully I wasn't having to do the driving. Oh. Yeah, my father drove north, and I drove back south. He had to deal with the rain and traffic. I had to deal with nightfall and traffic. So it was mutually unpleasant. But I got a free lunch out of it, and a milkshake. I was going to stream today, but didn't. Oh, well, that happens. I know that mood. I just got back from doing groceries. I got sugar snap peas and cucumbers, so I'm set. I don't know. You're more like a coyote. Get that joke. Good on you. Let's start Wilds tomorrow, though. Nice. Oh, well, thank you for the hug. I appreciate it. Thank you all for the hugs. I'm not a coyote, I'm a nuisance. Yeah, no, that pretty much still fits, considering what the coyotes are like in my area. The fact that they're in my area makes them a nuisance. You're floofy. Yeah, true. Inu! Fucking Inu! Hey. Mwah. You're a good bean. But I still stole your mushroom. Deal with it. Throws Inu and Fluff. Yes. We don't get yotes where I live. No, I imagine they're supposed to be more like the mid/southwest, as far as I know of their traveling ranges, but they've migrated east, so it's like, meh. I activate my trap card! Get wrecked, scrub. Hide from any mushrooms. No, you're gonna want to hug this mushroom before you're gonna be conflicted, and they'll be delicious. Oh my goodness. Also, Mike, that emote is absolutely freaking ridiculous. I love it. Thank you, you absolute goof nut. So, new Pokemon Direct 9-10 slots. Okay, you want me to talk about the Pokemon Direct? Because I watched it on the drive up north, so I've got opinions. Dragon Moth Girl we need arts of. Maybe the next page sketch will be that. Right now, Lumi is for the next one. And the one that came out today is the super adorable Combo Wombo Rhythm and Roxy. But yeah, if you guys want to hear my opinion on the Nintendo Direct, it's cool that they're giving us, let's see here, the Pokemon Pocket TCG things were just kind of meh. I mean, it's cool that we're getting the Arceus set and everything like that, but I've already started to fall way behind, so I don't have any extreme opinion whatsoever. Maybe one day I'll bother with the trading system or something to try to get some of the lost promo cards I don't have, but otherwise, eh. Do you have a 2 OC saved up? I do not right now. I had one when I rejoined Page in January, so that's how I was able to get the Roxy and Rhythm picture that I just got today. Then I only had one for this picture for February, so I got Lumi because I was in a good mood for her. Next one, I didn't have anything planned. I was maybe going to spoil Roxy again because I love spoiling her. She's just a sweetheart. Wasn't super impressed by the Direct, but I think it's because I'm not interested in games they were talking about except Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket. I feel Pocket is releasing too many sets too fast. Actually, yeah, I kind of agree. I think the pace that we had for the first 3 sets before Dialga Palkia sets came out was the better time span. Because dropping 2 more so soon afterwards is kind of freaking ridiculous. I'm just not gonna lie. It's kind of fucking ridiculous. I mean, we got the Selby one, which completely made the meta, like, broken in many ways. But we could have all coped if we just had a little bit more time or something, or if they had only released 1 pack or something. But, I mean, still. What were the other things? I liked some of the Pokemon Go stuff. I haven't played it in forever, and I'm not really interested in going back into it, so it's whatever. The Pokemon Master stuff I really like, because I love the idea of being able to use the shinies. I mean, they already gave us Black Rayquaza a while back, so it was really cool that they're giving us Black Groudon and Kyogre too. That's just flat out really cool. I forgot how annoying the English voice of May is, though. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. At least the Megas are back. So, hang on a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Had to talk to Allie real quick. I think the most exciting... The Unite stuff was kind of meh. I don't really care for lane battle games. The Unite is the least offensive one I've had to deal with. So, yay! More Pokemon for Pokemon Unite. But I don't play it, and I have no real solid interest in it because I was burned out by the fact that League of Legends and then Heroes of the Storm was kinda shafted by Blizzard, just hating on itself again and destroying it before it could really become actually legit good. I am honestly surprised Fox Spencer hasn't babbled to me about that Pokemon Championship one, because that looks... The way it was framed, it looks like to me is their hope to build a multi-console / platform-based competitive circuit game. Because if they're letting it be on mobile, which is really cool, if they're letting it be on the Switches, which is really cool, and if they're letting you utilize home as like a foundation for building your teams to fight on, which is cool, again, I can't help but wonder if that is like implying that they want to put the VGC onto it for future fights. As well as I'm deeply curious as to why the trailer had both terrestrialization and Mega Evolution. I mean, obviously because Legends is coming out, but does that mean we actually can fight with multi-generational gimmicks again? And that opens up a whole can of worms. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure I'm gonna hear a lot of it from Fox Spencer. And probably Speed. And probably the community itself as a whole through Fox Spencer. You know? I think they're gonna test the water for you. It would be really cool, because some Pokemon I honestly want to do Mega Evolutions with, some Pokemon I want to do Gigantamaxing with, some Pokemon I want to do Z-moves with, although I do recognize Z-moves as being probably the most broken. Or the most scuff. Finally, when it comes to Legends... Not gonna lie, they kind of legit surprised me. I thought it was going to be Lumio City set somewhere in the past, like at worst they were going to give us a slightly more nice sky ancestor of Lysander to like work with as they built Lumio City, but now it's clearly supposed to be post Kalos story arc. So this is basically XY2, which is not a bad concept, I'm not gonna lie. I find the idea that the cities build wild zones to be a little silly, but I mean, I know how big Paris is, correction. So the idea that a cityscape that ancient and that large could have numerous parks and zones that are full of quote-unquote wild Pokemon is not that impossible. The teleportation scene was kind of surprising, and I appreciate that they're utilizing the Legends Arceus battling system mixed in with a little bit of what they were trying to do for the quick capture system in Scarlet and Violet, where you had your Pokemon out and they would just attack the things around you, and that would kind of like insta try to capture them and everything. So it's clearly a good progression of both sides of the systems that they've implemented in this generation. It'll be really cool to see how it really plays out. I love seeing Oz. I don't care that they said AZ. I'm going to call him Oz because that's more cool sounding, frankly, than AZ. I love the fact that his full baby is there. I love the fact that he's kind of retired happily as a hotel owner. Like, it's kind of really cool. A concept. I love that he's just this 9-foot tall freaking beanstalk with a cane the size of a walking stick. Like the fact that he has a walking stick sized cane is just, it makes me chuckle. And his outfit's kind of funny too, because it's all like the double patching to get the length in properly for his limbs. Oh, God. That was freaking hilarious to say, but I like the fact that they're making it very blatantly clear that yes, this is years later. He's still actively in the region. Maybe we'll get some better character development out of him and everyone who was previously involved. That would be, again, big old thumbs up. I do like the idea. Living in a world too small for him now. That ain't that relatable before. Mega Evolutions are back. Mega Evolutions with all the current existing Mega Evolutions are back. I saw Pidgeot. I know that means that we're going to get Pidgeotite, or whatever the heck they call them. I'm really looking forward to that. I want to have my Pidgeot. I want to have my Beedrill. I want to have my Absol. I want to have all those Pokemon. I'm really looking forward to it. Final thing I'll talk about, because a lot of it's just like really hopeful stuff. Are there any new ones? They did not reveal anything new. They didn't reveal anything new in terms of new Pokemon or anything like that. They just showcased only a few aspects of like the traversal of Lumios and how the wild zones are established, and they showed how the battles are, which are an interesting combination, like I said, of the Arceus free movement battle system and the Scarlet Violet overworld battle capture system. So the best of both worlds. It's now more organically tied into how we have seen every episode of the anime do. I really like that. I kind of still think that when it comes to actual legit Pokemon battles between trainers, we should still kind of stay within slightly square locations across from each other instead of just literally just circling and running around, because even in the anime, they don't really circle each other. But finally, when it comes to the starters, legitimately surprised. I mean, it's still following the trend, kind of, what they did with Legends Arceus, because we had a Johto, we had an Unova, and then we had a Alolan. This time, it's two Johtos, the other two, and another one of the Innovans. I don't know why they didn't throw in somebody else. The 3 Colosian Pokemons, I hope I'm saying that properly, are obviously just going to be in the region to pick up no matter what. So them not being the starters makes a lot of sense. But, I mean, off the top of my head, you could have given us another Hisuian, Alolan Pokemon, because I wouldn't have minded. I mean, I'd hardly object. Because I could loosely think up an interesting idea for, like, say, a Litten alternate evolution if they went the that's the thing. I don't know if they're going to go the Mega Evolution route for them, or if they're going to go with the regional variant of them. But I really do want to... But I honestly... I kind of want the best of both worlds, but what I will really happily be content with is a regional variant of the 3 starter Pokemon, and then a Mega Evolution form for all of the Kalos ones. You know? Like, give us what we deserved back then, and give us something fun and new that we enjoyed getting back when we got Arceus, you know? Okay, so I apologize for, like, not paying attention to a lot of people commenting while I did this whole ramble. I just wanted to get my thoughts out of my head, and now I will comment on what you guys said. Also, how's my HP? My HP is fine. Okay, cool. 9 to 10 slumps, Jackamouth Grow, blah, blah, blah. To be honest, Oz looks cool. Apparently Pokemon moves have cooldowns. Well, I mean, when you're dealing with a more organic battle flow, it kind of makes sense to make just like Hyper Beam have a cooldown instead of like a turn lockout. So that kind of makes sense to me. I find it interesting that they implied that some Pokemon moves are going to have distance to be applied to them, which again makes sense. You can't bite from halfway across the arena, you know, and I imagine that Bubble is going to be a different range than Water Gun, for example. That's again some more organic combat to spice up the entire battle system, which I again really like the idea of. I hope it's not too clunky. I'm glad we don't have an agile and strong style. I still felt that was a little silly, but being able to like strategize better by like running in so that my Totodile, and yes, I'm going to do Totodile, can just bite the enemy before pulling back and like covering my escape with like a bubble or something strategic. Strategy. I love the introduction of strategy. That sounds good. I like one set every 3 months with no mini sets. It's actually not bad. That's actually not a bad pace, T. I'm honestly, yeah, that's not bad. I wouldn't mind mini sets. I wouldn't mind a mini set, like in like a 3, like a major, 2 major sets every 6 months and a mini set every 3 months, which they kind of sort of already did with like the Celebi pack and everything. But personal taste. Again, I don't play a lot of card games anymore these days, so I don't really remember how bad or good that kind of release would be. At the very least, we're not going to get scalpers. Megas are for me. That's just due to me already not liking them in the first place. Also got top dodge. I think they're going to test the waters for it. Yeah. Again, I like what they're ready to experiment with everything. I'm not into the Legends formula personally. I'd rather have turn-based battles with Megas again. They were centralizing, but because there are only so many of them, they could have been easier to play around than Gigantalization Z. Played Pokemon PMSD from XY till now. Oh, okay. I really liked the Legends formula a little bit more. I would probably say my favorite Pokemon game in the past decade? Uh-oh, I'm starting to feel my age. What was the last few Pokemon games in the last decade? I think Legends definitely stood out as one of the better ones, but it also is because they then went into Scarlet Violet, and because of all the bugs and flaws and lack of features that Arceus had, I definitely felt that it was good in a lot of ways, but clunkier because of all the flaws that they had. But, I'm not too surprised. Pokemon Company sometimes does 3 steps forward, 1 step back. Sometimes they do 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. But they're getting better. They are getting better. Need to get a day to collab Legit Miss Playing with you? Yeah. Yeah. We do need to collab again. You know, sorry that I haven't been doing it lately, but hey, you know. Well, I've seen supposedly that we broke, or that the developers broke Helldivers, and apparently we just basically just swept through multiple planets that we weren't supposed to, and now we're gonna get our asses whooped 10 times over because of it. So that's a thing. Let's see. Any new ones? Assuming the stars are gonna have them. Pick 2 stars in the same gym. Oh, something that my friend Moonlight pointed out actually about the 2 starters from Johto thing and the Tepig. They're arguably the 3 least liked Pokemon of the starters. Like, their ratings are some of the lowest ones. This might be a demi-marketing thing to make Chikorita and Totodile and Tepig be a little bit more desired or appreciated. But I find it a little weird because I really fucking love Totodile, so I'm biased, but I don't see how anyone could not like Totodile and Feraligatr and stuff like that. Chikorita, with respect to Fox Fencer, who has a really, really beautiful Meganium character and stuff like that, as well as just the fact that I picked a Meganium for my first ever playthrough of fucking Silver back in the day, I kinda did like it the least among the Johto starters. Like, I defaulted to Feraligatr the most. I did a couple run-throughs, you know, since I was just a single kid, so it's not like I was holding any seriously important Pokemon. And I picked, out of like the 5 runs I did 3 Feraligatrs and 1 Cyndaquil and 1 Chikorita. So I know at least that my ratio speaks kind of weird for this whole statement. So yeah, but apparently they are some of the least desired. And I mean, between Tepig and Snivy kind of makes sense. Oshawott, I don't know. I mean, I always liked Samurott in general, so you know. I'll say Chikorita needs a glow up, and while I love Totodile, he's already solid. I just want Totodile to be water fighting type. I know there's a couple water fighting types, but personal reasons, because my character Cress, who is a Feraligatr, is a water fighting type. And I just would really love to be able to directly canonically say, well, here's Cress. As best if they keep them a secret. Yeah, I want them to keep them a secret. Keep them a secret. And let's just kind of discover them, or at least save it until like the last week or so or something. I mean, maybe that'll end up with them revealing something kind of fugly in most of our opinions, but I think it's better than just being given all the leaks, because those leaks have caused a lot of issues over the years. Hoping for a Mega Delphox. There's gonna be half a dozen regional variants and tons of Pokemon at some point. Well, yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I would take multiple new regional variants than just adding on even more completely brand new Pokemon. I say this having made several fan character Pokemon, but all of them have been based off of already existing Pokemon. They've been a new evolution, or they've been a regional variant. So, yeah, I'd rather play with what we have a little bit more before we add more. And, yeah, that's about it. And I think a Kalosian Meganium would be really freaking beautiful, because it's already a very flowery region. So Meganium having some kind of glow up, like, I imagine them turning into a grass fairy type, just flat out off the bat. Some kind of superior version of Florges, because at least then they would have a starter Pokemon stat pack, so to speak, of like statistics. And if I loosely remember, Meganium was actually a pretty decently tanky Pokemon, so that would mean a tanky grass fairy type, you know? Speaking of HP, very nearly got gnawed down to 0 there by a giant rat. These aren't rats. These are baby dragons. Because I can't kill the big ones. So I'm killing the babies. But don't worry about it. In my opinion, it's just good that they're removing the PP system. What? They're removing the Pokemon's PP? What? They shut down Trading Card Game Online to release Trading Card Game Live, which is a straight up downgrade with a smaller call pool, worse graphics, worse performance, and more glitch. Wait, really? Damn, Jesus Christ. Ugh. I hadn't played the like original trading card game online thing for a while. Ugh. Instead of fixing live, they made Pocket. I guess that was their solution. Yeah, kind of sucky, but ugh. No, make them Water Dragon. Look, okay, Water Dragon would be cool too, because I don't know. There aren't actually a lot of Water Dragons insofar as I'm aware. I know there's Kingdra. I know there's Palkia. But I feel like there's like at least one more. But, you know, either way, it would be okay to add more, because I think there's more water fightings than there is water dragons, so that's a good way to keep the balance, but yeah. Yeah, try to keep things as secret as possible. Look at Sneasler. Initial impressions were, what is this blankety blank? Then emotion, it turned out great. Yeah, Sneasler's actually a pretty good example of a spoiler almost ruining something that actually turned out to be super good. Like, Sneasler is now an amazing Pokemon. I love Sneasler, actually. They're freaking amazing. I made a Sneasler. I actually need to remember that I made a Sneasler. Holy shit. Thank you for that reminder before. Oh no, I almost went down to 0 doing some RuneScaping here too tonight. Oh, very nice. Only 8 water dragons. Huh. Wait. How many are water dragons? Kingdra, Palkia. Oh, thank you, Inu. You sent me a picture. Kingdra, Palkia. Okay, come on. Palkia Origin does not count. Dracovish counts. Tatsugiri counts. I'm not counting the variants of Tatsugiri either, my god. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 water dragons. Okay, we could definitely afford another water dragon. How many water fightings are there? I know there's Polyrath. I know there's that octopus dude. Not sure what I want for my 5 picks yet. Honestly, we definitely need to sit down, you, me, and Inu, Biscuit, and we need to definitely figure out some fun ideas to do together. Also, who else has poked me? Seven. So there's 7. Send me a picture. Colosium Floralligator should be water hug type. Gonna wrestle you. Give me his number type? No, give me her number type. Actually, I can show you, I can show you guys Cress. Where's my YouTubes? Okay, there's my YouTubes. Into the Logan file. Pull back out, go into the Crest file, whose full name is actually Crescendo. And then we go to the YouTubes tab thing, Crest reference, there. Ta-da! No, her name is Crescendo. One of the aesthetics that I actually follow when it comes to certain settings and those affiliated with my characters is that they are named after music stuff. Because, yeah, Chris, I want her from Kenju. Yeah. For some character lore, if you're interested, as I battle still in the background, my main big main powerful character. Well, I want her from Sith and Kenju, to be fair. They always collab with these amazing adoptables. Thank you very much, Inu. My biggest, mainest character is Heartsong. Most people know me by Heartsong, honestly, especially these days. You know? I think one of them might be from Paige, to be honest. Paige? I mean, you know what? That is very fair, because Paige does a really good job, and they would totally do anything that's remotely close to your character as well. Oh, hey, my prayer leveled up. Nice. Man, I actually grinded out 100 dragons while I was talking already. But anyway, so Heartsong's like the big gal, the Omni gal. I even have created and provided to several friends a general concept of like the Omni gal is effectively the creator or the creator's buddy of an entire setting, an entire existence. And that these characters in return can knock on the door of other creators and other Omnis to share and collaborate with their existences. And this is a very good Deus Ex way of basically saying all the continuity that you want to have for your characters is totally fine, but it's just over there on the other side of non-existence. But you can also just come over and meet up with me and have some fun in my setting, you know? Because it's one of my big rules is try to avoid the whole her, I'm bigger, her, I'm more powerful, her stuff, you know, which is a very big problem in the macro and the furry community a lot of times, you know? And yeah, B4's big creator is now effectively Yana, because she embodies the power of multi-manifestation. So she is literally the full manifestation of all of her existence, quite literally to the point where she has an existence that is only her, and now also an existence that is everything that was not her. I definitely want one with Heart Song Logan sometime. Oh, nice. But yeah, so Heart Song has several different characters who are in the cast that are actually her daughters. Her eldest is Buster slash Melody, who is a unintentionally gender fluid femboy slash female kind of tomboy character, because her origin has been slightly wonked due to some shenanigans with Heart Song's origin story. So sometimes she's Buster, sometimes she's Melody, sometimes he's a gal, and sometimes he's also a centaur, and also sometimes he might have a wyvern tail and stuff like that. It's complicated. And hilarious. And Heart Song's middle child is Rhythm, who some people have probably seen, especially be drawn from Paige. And for example, in the latest picture by Paige from today's sketch packet, Rhythm is in that picture, and she's the middle child. And she's easily the most responsible one of them all. And then, of course, you have her youngest, which is Beat, who is a big old Arcanine character. Cress is from the same setting as Beat, and she is her childhood friend, all grown up, and now they're actually dating, which is really nice. Of course, those are the elder god children, as I guess you could kind of call them. So they're the big three children, whereas there's also 3 additional children that Heart Song had once she married her current wife, Casey, who is a character belonging to Saint Absol. When she married her, she settled down into a setting known as the Spookyverse, which is the accumulated concept of like SCP, horror, creepypasta, supernatural, fae powers, elder gods that kind of chillax and have fun with mortals because they're such interesting creatures. It's a whole thing, hence why it's just called by default the Spookyverse. And those children, from oldest to youngest, is Yilva, the firstborn, who is very much inspired by Vicar Amelia. So imagine Vicar Amelia, but a little bit more blood fur colored. I'll put it like that instead of being more visceral on even the After Dark stream. The middle child is Amarok, the bear with me on this. The black and white retro monster movie teenage, quote unquote, teenage werewolf kaiju daughter who has a general control over most forms of media, and she uses it to make very popular monster horror movies that usually have the damsel in distress being the monster and the love interest being someone who has the hots for said monster. You know, and that whole Attack of the Giant Ants kind of scenario, or the Giant Blob and everything like that, usually results in silly wackiness of romance and rom-com and other kind of like cool actiony stuff, instead of like, oh no, what terrible monsters now attack the city. Yeah, it's one of those great things, and it's entirely because Saint Absol loves that whole thing, and I'm like, this is brilliant. You know, Monsters and Damsel Distress is a great way to go. Yeah, like, you know, there are no cowards in that setting. They see the giant hot monster lady, they want to get to know the giant hot monster lady, not kill her. You know? You know? I'm gonna get into this corner and kind of see if I can heal a bit. I am out of fish. Do I have anything? Do I have anything I can do to heal? I am down to only 21 dragons to go. They all have their permits. Well, actually, yes. she, like I said, she's a movie director, so she actually does a lot of officializing the terrorizing and destruction of various different regions of the planet, even to get some of these shots done. And she is not at all shy of encountering any of the SCPs and actual supernatural horrors, walking up to them and say, "Hey, you got some real good acting chops here. You want to work for me?" And half the time they actually agree to it, because then it's like, "Oh, I'm popular." No, they're not safe for... Oh, yeah. But yeah. And then finally, the youngest daughter is Mimi, the mimetic cat spirit. She is literally the embodiment of memery. So every little bit of silliness you can imagine, the no bitches, or, you know, troll logic, or how do you do fellow kids, don't have a cow man, the 90s were the you know, remember when the 90s were cool, man, and all that stuff is Mimi. She basically is like heavily inspired by, if you took Casey's design, short stacked it, and made it Heartsong Blue rainbowy vibed. Mimi is absurdly silly. I love her to bits. You know? And the best part about her, on top of all the memery, of course, that's a heck of a way to describe her. Yes. The best part about her is that she speaks in captions, because her voice is nyan, just nyan 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 nyan, because she is very much also Nyan Cat of the setting. So she just speaks Nyan, and then all the captions just appear in your vision to be understandable. But it gets even more hilarious, because secret fact for this stream to know about, she actually does have a completely normal voice. And just like her mother, it's actually this really deep, entrancing voice that can absolutely swoon an audience if she were to sing. You know. But the number of times she's actually legitimately used that voice is extremely rare. Usually only when she's actually legit tired, or when she just wants to do it to do the bit of having a normal voice. But then, yeah, you know, yeah. Okay, I am not going to be able to heal enough, so I'm going to need to teleport out and recover a bunch of things. Damn, I was so close to doing that Slayer's task fully. Also, I got 2 strength levels while I was down there. Hell yeah, baby. I'm getting closer and closer to the barrows. Very nice. There are technically more daughters, though, but they have yet to be fully realized, and they're not... Heartsong was very reluctant to have daughters in the first place. She had melody, rhythm, and beat in what is essentially known as her second lifespan. Her third lifespan is her current one, due to, again, lore reasons, stuff that I really don't want to dive into, otherwise I'll be rambling about it for the next 3 hours. But there are other daughters, and I have a loose idea of how to introduce them all, but the TLDR of it is that they are meant to be a weird esoteric combination of... They're supposed to basically embody more so the Fae side of, like, hearts. So, okay, no, actually, sorry. Let me further clarify something. Heartsong is a goddess and an eldritch entity. The normal iteration that most people see is the goddess. The side that they don't typically see unless it's Halloween, which is Heartsong's canonical birthday, is Heart of Song, the Eldritch Entity half. That is the one who birthed melody, beat, and rhythm. The one that birthed, or at the very least, helped birth some of the kids that are now with Casey is Heart Song. And then there's actually technically a third aspect, but I'm not going to get into that. Sure, feel free to, hun. But this third wave of daughters is supposed to be more aesthetically attuned to the concepts of the Fae. Also, one second. And there you go. Making sure you didn't see that whole thing. So they're going to be more like Casey's kids instead of Heartsong's kids, if that makes sense. So they're all attuned to like the seasons and other more Fae-orientated concepts. But of course, they're still Heartsong and Casey's kids, so they're goofy in some way or another. And Sage, for those of you who know who she is one of them. She is essentially the aspect of summer. You know, the concept of an eternal summer. The summer adventure that you have as a kid. The one that movies all across your childhood always emphasized as being like that one great hurrah before you had to go back to school and life continued on. You know what I mean? What was that conversation yesterday of progressing characters and background ones, and then there's sons and daughters? Yeah, this is kind of stuff like that, Aleph, you know? But yeah, Sage is the concept of eternal summer, essentially. And she embodies that sort of wonderful youth of being able to go on an adventure and have fun, and how the days seem to go on forever, and you just never want it to really end, and everything like that. And she's actually because I'm a macrophile and enjoy all that kind of stuff about giant furries and stuff, she is a ever-growing Sprigatito. Or, no, sorry, correction. She is an ever-growing Florgato. So, the middle evolution of Meowscarada, you know? There's another one that does exist, but I haven't really done much details on, who is the example of Blooming Spring. And that one is the Lopunny Meowscarada fusion that I have somewhere. And she's going to be one of those daughters too. And then there's going to be the one of Lingering Fall and some kind of fancy name for winter as well. Yeah, we do love bigs, you know. Some might say it's 104 days of summer and find a good way to spend it. Yeah, you know. What was I doing in the bank? I was going to do something. What was I going to do? Oh, I was going to get food. Right. What do I have for food? Got a bunch of bombs. Oh, I got some bread. Bread. Eat bread. Eat bread. Eat bread. Eat bread. Bread. Eat bread. Eat bread. 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 Give them up to 60. Thank you very much. Deposit all bread. Deposit the few coins I got. Deposit the one blue dragon hide that I got. Now let's go steal from a cake vendor or something. I feel like a kid I have in mind for Biscuit might get along with that girl just fine. Yeah, so talking about progression of characters and everything like that, Heartsong having kids is a very big sign of her character progression in the background. Because when I first started off, her concept was that she would forever swear off having kids because of the fact that she, again, because of plot reasons, has safety concerns for having legitimately straight out of her everything a kid. Because she's the omni goddess of the setting, or omni character rather, and that comes with a lot of responsibility of handling said power and anyone who might inherit said power. Silk stall, spice stall, fur stall? Ooh. I didn't know there was a fur stall here. That's good to know. Hey, Dr. Brandon. Baker stall, silver stall, baker stall. Let's see here. You're standing annoyingly right there. I'll try to steal it. No, you're staring right at me. Okay. Fuck it. I'll just kill you since you're trying to be so annoying. Deal. Oink. Going to bed. Want to sleep in your first night. Aw, well that's cute, Brandon. Feel free. Grab a fluffy tail bed. Oh my god, I just want to steal your bread. Let me steal your bread. I want to steal your bread. Yeah, I'll just drop all this. Be gone with you. Weaklings. I have a dragon scimitar. What help do you have? But she progressed over time. Not only did she end up finding, dating, and marrying Casey, but because of them agreeing to like have Puka, their maid, take over some of the responsibility of having some of the kids versus Casey herself having one or two of the kids, she changed her mind. Plus, she also kind of got her act together, frankly, on talking with and interacting more with her own daughters, the original three, the elder ones. And so she progressed as a character in that way. There's also characters like Gwen, who is my very famous Breakson. And she was one of my very first few real characters to ever exist. And she eventually had Siri and Iris, the twins, and then more notably Love, spelled L-U-V, who is actually, because of her Gwen's own power scale, because of whom her father is and everything like that, is the goddess of family love. And more importantly, that concept is a very broad term. It's one of those things I really like to do, is to explore like terminology and characteristics and like possibilities of what it means to be this or that concept or power, you know? So she represents family love. And that could mean anything between husband and wife, to daughter and father, to sister, to cousin, all that sort of things. Gwen's best friend, Morgana, also had a kid whose name is Faye. And I find that what do I mean by this? Having kids is a great way to show how characters have developed, because a lot of characters are usually written into the concept of the Forever 18 style. You know, again, there's nothing wrong with like a locked-in character. You know, there's nothing wrong with a character who is static, because they've already established themselves. There's not much reason or need for them to go out of the way and change who they are or to do something different. Goodness, you all love those characters. I love it. Thank you so much, really. But, I mean, again, this is a great way to showcase it all, because Gwen is one of the few characters that I almost from the get-go established as being someone who was originally 16 and is now, I believe, either 30... I can't remember what I did. I gave her 2 years either over me or under me. I think 2 years over. So she's like 37 years old now. So she's fully a mom. She has a career. She has her 3 daughters and everything like that. And like she's really established as well. Unfortunately, that has made her a static character in an even further way, which has caused, I'll admit, some problems on getting her to be used in scenarios and the like. That's really unfortunate. I'm more than willing to admit that, because a lot of my friends really want to do or see more with Gwen. Biscuit is meant to be a mom, so hee hee. Very much so. Then there's of course my character Caspian, who is he's a multi-manifestation character. You know, he's the he's like the protagonist of any story that ends up happening most of the time, or at the very least he's like the real cameo character of any setting. Even if the setting is centralized more so around Gwen, for example, in the setting that she's from, Caspian is still there. So you could go to like a slightly different area and, oh, look, there's Caspian. Hi, Caspian. You know? Other times he's the main character. Other times he's like the friend of the main character, or stuff like that, you know? In the Criggleverse, he is one of the 3 pillars that establish how the setting essentially sets up itself for the more open-ended time frame. The best way I could describe it is that, similar to how there's a Warcraft 1, 2, and 3 that establish everything you need to know Warcraft, for World of Warcraft, there are 3 characters that establish storyline 1, 2, and 3, which then creates World of Warcraft, aka the Frontier era, which is where B4, for example, has several characters living and thriving inside of. Full Spartan, if they were here, could also talk about how their characters are in the setting, and they too are inside of the Frontier era, which is set 15-ish years after all of the events that Caspian goes through, for example, alone. You know? Something like that. So Caspian progresses a lot in that whole thing, and he has kids. He has a couple wives at the same time, but I'm not going to get into that. But then he has multiple kids too. So, you know, then he has to deal with all that sort of stuff. And he also develops as a result of it. In fact, it's very important that he has a kid, because that leads him to go down several different paths and choices that he would not have made originally at all. And he has a very serious personality shift as a result of it. Poly OCs are fun. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm poly myself. I'm not exactly going to not do a couple characters. I have characters who are technically... Most of my characters are truthfully poly, or at the very least open to, like, being flirtatious with, like, the same gender or otherwise. It's kind of hard to ignore my own personal interests, you know what I mean? Even Caspian, who's pretty solidly, what's the term? Heterosexual, is still able to find some attraction to males, you know? But either way, you know, yeah, I mean, the majority of my characters are poly, or omni, frankly speaking, because, I mean, Heartsong has had more than a few relationships, and Casey has had more than a few relationships with several different entities and otherwise that have cropped up or shown up And they have also blatantly gone into doing trios with said entities because it's like they both find them hot. we we are not afraid to show the love here, ladies and gentlemen. Casey just walks home with someone new and is like, "Hey, honey, look what I found." And then Heartsong just goes, "Ooh, she's definitely staying for dinner." But all I can really say in the end is like, the more love and the more true feelings, the better. Ichi, they are definitely staying. Oh? Yeah, I'm in the same boat, just saying let my characters grow, change, and be who they want to be and connect with who they want to connect with. Yeah, pretty much. I've been legitimately surprised because a lot of my characters have developed over time via just interacting with you all as friends. And that's led to some very fun results in terms of how they develop and how they change around things. It's inspired tons of lore and concepts that I spread out to the rest of the settings and everything like that. It's the best thing to do is to just let your characters grow in more ways than one. Wink, wink. Let me see. Can I get there? Yes. Okay. Run! 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 I'm full of cake. Hey there, Aura! My goodness, I did not expect to talk so much. It's kind of crazy. Oh, and now I finally see Inu link the water fighting types. Let's take a look at what we have here. Poliwrath, yeah. Keldeo, Ordinary, and that's the only one I'm going to count. Quackleval, Urshifu... Both Urshifu? Well, no, just one Urshifu. And then Aqua... Oh, Tauros from the Paldea region. Right. Oh, sorry, BRB. Sorry about that. Evening interruption by my dad. Point to the Protoroc and points to Taurus. Case in point of friends helping lore develop. I mean, yeah. That was definitely one hell of a crazy development. And one crazy hot gal. Holy hell. I will get there. The one thing Wolf feels like Wolf doesn't progress, it's more you all progressing. Like, if you like where your characters are, there's nothing wrong with that either. See, that's the thing. Logan, help, I fucked around and found out it wasn't a good idea. Perish. But yeah, Aleph, kind of what B4 said ties into the whole talk about static and progressive characters that I mentioned. If you like where your characters are, there's not much reason to change them. In the same vein of not having much idea of where to take them, so they have to remain static for time being. There's really nowhere else to take Gwen, for example. I don't mean that in a negative way, it's just more so a statement of fact. Gwen has a super successful career that makes her millions. She technically finally managed to resolve the issue with the twins and their whole plot line, which involved time travel, for those curious. Love exists, which is a massive just like success by the sheer fact that she does. And she's got her hubby Sachi, and she's got countless fans and everything like that. So on a technicality, the one thing that she lacks is more pictures, which is like fair, you know. You shot 8 Deathclaws? Well, didn't you know that 7, 8, 9? So there's one more out there, man. You gotta be careful. That was terrible. Artings are difficult. Artings are difficult before I even have to start thinking about the fact that I don't have the money to do such things. At least not so freely in the case of point that I've been doing for years prior to this. You know, I have to raise money for trying to move out, to trying to fix things. That payment just now for my car doesn't help, so that Final Fantasy 14 stream thing, if it really happens, that would be very nice to have, because it won't pay me back in full, so to speak, from having to do car repairs, but it would get pretty darn close. Much more into an acceptable range of loss, at least. I just shoot 8 Deathclaws? I mean, why not shoot 8 Deathclaws? In terms of progressive characters, or characters that you want to progress, I mean, sometimes sometimes you just don't have an idea. Case in point, I didn't have any way to progress my Gudra character, Ninev, for several years, and this is one of the most noteworthy stories about some of my characters who have gone from static to progressive, and then back to static, frankly speaking. Because what happened was Ninev was conceived alongside Gwen and several other characters during X and Y. And when they were created, they were more so created with like one theme in mind for how they were. So Gwen was bratty girl, Morgana was cuddle cuddle monster. Ninev was sleepy plushy. Anna was sassy short stack. Luna was dummy thick. And Eliza was mean bully, you know. And you don't have to know these names, for the record, to know what I'm loosely talking about. Like, these were their general aesthetics. Gwen was a bratty girl who was maybe originally the starter of, you know, my trainer Caspian that was set up for that whole idea. And he spoiled her too much, so that way when she evolved into a Braxton, she just basically started to ignore him because he had gone full ham on leveling her up, maxing her skills, making her strong, making her feel loved and appreciated, And then he didn't have a single badge to his name, so now she refuses to let him get a badge because then she'd have to acknowledge him as being a capable trainer. Morgana was a Noibat that just absolutely loved and adored Caspian and really thought that he was handsome slash cute and was always more than willing to just cling to him, hug him, and kiss him. There were macro slash fetish things tied into it all too, but they don't really matter in terms of this explanation. So Morgana didn't take him seriously, actually, because she didn't want to take anything seriously. She just wanted to do the whole Chikorita tackles Ash for a hug kind of levels of silliness, you know? She didn't care about fighting, and she didn't really care about getting stronger, because what's being stronger got to do about being able to cuddle her cutie, you know? And then when it came to Anna being a sassy short stack, well, she was a sassy short stack. She's a sand slash, so her whole thing was that she was always trying to, like, steal Caspian's food. She was constantly sitting in his lap. She was bossing him around to do this or that stuff for him and everything like that. It was, you know, she just didn't listen to him, and she always demanded more poffins. Kind of silliness, you know? I was a little inspired by Midna, you know, because short stacks rule. Then there was Ninev, who the only concept I had for her was she was constantly tired. She always would fall asleep. She would eat tons of food because she was a big, thick girl. She was a Gudra. And then she would just fall over and use Caspian as a pillow. And, like, she'd be like a quasi-Snorlax in that sort of concept. Very weak. Also, hi, Fox Fencer. And then there was Luna, who was my Aurorus, and she was just supposed to be a primal girl that was dummy thick. You know, she speaks in the third person, like Luna no want to fight, Luna want to eat, and all that sort of kind of stuff. You know, cave woman kind of logic. And all she would usually do was call him small, scrawny man and small, scrawny human, and every so often she'd be, you know, happy and content enough to basically just haul him off to bed or something silly. You know? But outside of that, there actually wasn't much else. When it comes to Eliza, though, I do want to say, Eliza no longer belongs to me. She was like the first and sort of kind of the only other character that I've ever sold off or given off to a friend. And that was because even though I tried to progress her character or even retcon her character, it did not work out. The general concept that I first created was tainting her too much, and the friend that I gave her to did actually come up with some great ways to modify her and make her more enjoyable. So, cool. It's a shame that I wasn't able to do it myself, but I'm more than willing to accept, like, the responsibility. Yeah, go away, dragon, go away. Also, who am I supposed to be going to? Or, wait, who do I go to for my Slayer test? Oh, the Zanaris Combat Master, that's right. Right. Okay, hang on a second. Use Monastery Cloak to get out of there. And go over there to configure the ring. But yeah, I made all these characters, and down to the last one, even Eliza, all of them have dramatically changed from where they began. Where they're either from whatever starting concept there was, to being flat out retconned into the new concept that I came up with for them. Gwen went from being Gwen got the whole overtime development trick done to her. So she went from being a bratty teenager to someone who got in trouble as a teenager, managed to get away with it a little bit, but then the harsh reality of adult life hit her, and ironically, the person that snapped her out of it the most was the next person she was going to target as to like her main source of enjoyment slash money and stuff, who was Sachi. But because he rejected her in a certain way, it combined with her failure previously made her think, and she developed. Over time, I removed her from the original setting that she was in, and just which didn't do too much to affect her, honestly speaking. But she eventually developed into the young adult, then the mom that she is, and now she's one of my most popular characters. Morgana was moved alongside her. I'm not even entirely sure why, but I carried her along with her. I made her like a best friend of Gwen's. They had like a whole thing growing up where in school they were constantly the two biggest, baddest, hottest girls of the whole thing. There was actually a massive spat between the two of them that degraded into a school-wide issue, actually, because of the fact that basically they were sleeping around so much that pretty much everyone had some kind of history with them. And then they had the argument over the fact because Gwen was getting a little bit too vain and egotistical, and Morgana was constantly really open-ended. Like, she was very blatantly polyamorous compared to Gwen's more monogamous attitude, despite her sleeping around. And that developed into a huge spat where they didn't talk for years until they came back together as friends as adults. By that point, Gwen was in her successful career and dating slash married Sachi, whereas Morgana had become a roaming photographer that was very famous for her work, as well as the occasional writer, actually. And she now operates a wildlife preserve in the setting, believe it or not. And so she's got a very nice, successful career that's like Demi off the grid, because she was always supposed to be sort of like a... She's a weird character, actually, when you stop and think about it. She is a Noibat who is super intelligent, actually. Like, she had really amazingly great grades, and she never stopped being good. But she also was kicked out of school because of the incident with Gwen, and she decided, I'm not going to bother with college or going to another school. I'm just going to leave and enjoy life, which led to a very successful life. You know? But this, again, is like all good examples of how my characters progress with or without my intending to. And then Ninyev was, again, like I said, a neurotic character that kept sleeping and everything like that. Then I got her drawn by one artist, and it changed everything. Now she's technically a gigantic Gudra kaiju in a specific setting, and she causes shenanigans because of that, because everything is either eaten by her or gooped against her. And she's able to fix stuff over time, but it's still shenanigans, you know? And she's got a cute little tiny boyfriend who's constantly, like, trying to keep a leash on her antics because she's big, sweet, and innocent, whereas he's more serious and focused. As for Luna, she went from a dummy thick cave woman kind of thing to a centaur Aurora's character. I was a part of Team Rocket due to a failed reef defossilization of her fossil. And now she's in a completely different setting entirely because she just wasn't fitting well, to be completely honest. Not only was I not using her much for the setting that she was in, with Team Rocket and everything like that, but I also just decided I'm gonna move her over to this other setting. That's gonna let me just go ham with her fun and tease another friend, Full Spartan. You know? Hmm. But you know what? I've rambled way too much about my characters. And I've also dehydrated myself. Fox Fencer! I see you linking me that super cute Hex Maniac from the Pokemon Direct today. How dare you? She's very cute. Tonight on Lore Talk, I ramble for 5 hours about Lord knows what among cast members. And also, ladies and gentlemen, Fox Sensor. Provided I actually don't have him muted or something by accident. Hang on a sec, hang on. Gotta make sure I'm actually hearing you. Alright, try that. Talk? No, still not working. Well, I hear you, but you're still not registering in the Discord feed. Ah, there we go.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Now you're working.
Aha!
Look, if I wanted to really just turn this into After Dark Lore Talk, I would be able to do a full-ass stream on it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yes, you very much could.
I don't like the way you phrased that. Oh, I need the mirror shield for once. Okay.
Is that necessary?
Yes, because the basilisk can petrify me, so I actually need to get 5,000 gold coins to purchase the mirror shield. I actually might have the mirror shield already, actually, though. Let me go see how that is.
Check your bank.
Yeah, pretty much. Wouldn't complain, because honestly, lore stuff is always fun to learn more of and discuss. Yeah. And I mean, just like the majority of the furry community, frankly speaking, there is an infinite amount of lore hidden in the back pocket, more than it is actually online.
Oh yeah, much like you and my lore.
Yep. Okay, looks like I do not have the mirror shield. Okay, so I'm going to need 5,000. There. That's useful for both basilisks and cockatrices, so that's a decent purchase. It's like 2,500 for both. Sadly, after our streams are much late for Wolf's. Yeah, I'm sorry, Wolf. I would have tried to honestly do even this earlier, but the drive back home was longer than the drive up north. Even though I was definitely going speeds way faster than my father.
And I have to figure out my new medication.
Oh, yeah?
Where did I put it?
Alright, buy one mirror shield and equip.
Did I actually place it?
There.
I did.
Man. 117 basilisks. I wonder how difficult that's going to be to actually kill. Guess we'll find out. Still, I'm glad you're able to be here, Aleph. And I even got to talk about some of the girls you love.
Oh, yeah.
Take care, Aleph. Mwah. See you later, hon. Also, I hope you enjoyed that picture. Okay, I can get rid of the Dusty Key and that. And yep, he liked it. Good. Because let's see. How many settings do I have at this point? Like, if I could list them all decently. How many settings do I have? Just settings, not characters.
Well, I know you have we have the Feralverse. I know you have the Rocketverse. and the Rocketverse includes all of the Pokemon region, including our new Konam region.
Yep, that's true.
Let's see, you have a stake in the Kriggleverse.
I have a major stake. As I described it earlier, I'm one of the 3 story pillars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, between you as like the first one, obviously, and then me as the second one, and then even Pathfinder, frankly, actually counts as a third.
Mm-hmm. And the honorary third was Cetus.
Yeah, if Cetus had been around longer, we could have really set up probably another major wave or 2 of like concepts based around his ideas.
Yeah.
I do have some interesting ideas for him still, but yeah.
Yeah, he also would have had a Spectrier by then.
Oh, hands down. Like, no flipping contest.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way the Cetus would not have gotten a frickin' Spectrier. I wouldn't be surprised if he had gotten the Galarian Rapidash, too. Just for a slight change-up of everything, you know? Or, actually, no, correction. Either he would have gotten a whole new character for Galarian Rapidash, or it could have seen Celeste.
Let's see. I could have seen Cetus get not only Spectre, but I can see more Galarian Ponyta than Galarian Rapidash.
Ooh, that's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He might put his hat in the ring for Glastrier, but I don't know.
Glastrier is harder because they're harder. Yeah, good question. Okay, so where are they located? They are located in the Reminic.
If he was around during Scarlet and Violet, he might have also asked for a Palafin.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. AJR. AJR. There we go.
Oh, who's done?
Yep. I just one said to myself, sleep well. She's done! Oh, you must be talking about the mushroom. Oh no. You gave her freckles. Sorry, Inu, she's mine now. Yoink. In the words of Bart Simpson, who created the entire concept of yoink. 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 I just steal multiple copies of her. Put them all down in the field. I think the basilisks are through here. No, yeah. Shine. No, you, Shine.
Well, at least B4 gets the new Breloom.
B4 wants the mushroom?
The mushroom.
He wants the mushroom.
The mushroom.
B4, I'm so proud of you. The new villain? Those curves are definitely dastardly, I will say that. My god. Let's see here. I think I can squeeze through here. Hey, I made it. Hello? Okay.
Hmm?
Oh, there's another side. Hang on a sec. I was like, ah! Oh, well, that sucked. Stabbed me in the dick. I mean, you have to write down the lore later? Yeah. Yeah, we do. Oh, there we go. There they are. So let me just see real quick how this thing might try to petrify me. Special attack. Wow. Neast. That is not very difficult at all. Good. Okay, I'll be able to grind this pretty easy. So where was I? I was talking about something. Oh, right, we were talking about settings. Yeah, in terms of Pokemon alone, I have at least the Rocketverse, the Pharaohverse, the OPC-verse, and the Exmon-verse. So that's at least 4 settings that's just purely based around Pokemon and some other concepts. I don't think I have any other ones. Probably don't, honestly. Then, of course, there's the Kriggleverse, which is like a very real, just kind of like original setting kind of stuff. There's the Spookyverse, which is co-owned between me and St. Absol. Let's see. There is the Monsterverse, as I call it, which is where all... Oh god, how do I explain the Monsterverse? So, the Monsterverse is just sort of like conceptually a reality that is full of different monster series. By which I mean Pocket Monster is there, Digital Monsters is there. Shut up, Siri! Shut up, Siri! Pocket Monster is Yu-Gi-Oh, which is, you know, Dual Monsters is there, and Monster Rancher is technically there too. Monster Hunter is there. So you see what the naming / placement aesthetic is, you know. And this is where beat, rhythm, and melody come in, which also goes into explaining how the hell Heartsong can have a Buster Dragon, a Garurumon, and an Arcanine for daughters. Because she had relations with 3 different dudes from 3 different worlds. And the only one that has like the most overlap and all that stuff is actually the Dual Monsters one, because the Shadow Realm just kind of encroaches upon all the different settings. Kind of like an underground root network. What other ones do I have? Let me see here. Oh, well, there's Theodora. And Theodora is both a setting, but also one of my characters, because she is a living universe. She is a Quarian who was originally born in a setting post the Reaper War, and she was delving into understanding the effects and capabilities of dark matter. Utilizing that one mission in Mass Effect 2 that led to you recruiting Tali back onto the team, which was about that whole sun that was getting older faster than it should be due to dark matter being inside of its core. I kind of went from there. TLDR, Theodora, was delving into dark matter, and she believed that dark matter itself was something that was sort of bleeding into the universe from an underside. And to give you a TLDR, the basic concept is that there's a top side universe and a bottom side universe, a universe of light and a universe of darkness. And that the darkness, the concept doesn't get like said by her, but in the narrative it talks about how basically the idea is that the world, the universe that we all know of, is the world of light. It has matter, it has light, all that sort of stuff. The dark universe is antimatter and just sort of like some nebulous non-matter that kind of exists. And the idea is that just like the grains of sand in an hourglass, the concept of the Big Bang and the Big Crunch is that hourglass emptying out over time to the bottom. And that when it reaches the bottom, it compresses so much that it explodes, flipping the hourglass, causing a new universe to form, and the cycle begins anew. So, in Theodora's setting, not only was this the way that the whole thing works, but it also tied itself into two major other concepts, science and magic. Now, because there was a bleed over, some magic can exist with science, some science can exist with magic. But specifically with her thing, it also just so happened to coincidentally just basically be Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
You know? So she turned into a living universe because she kind of barely managed to activate a failsafe when she accidentally made a portal into the dark universe and got yanked through by, big bad Mr. Heartless dude with the tentacle faces and stuff. And she survived somehow, conceptually, through the entire passage of time that remained inside that universe. Then when the next Big Bang happened, well, the Big Bang made her the universe. Because she was the only she was the only solitude soul left. The rest had all become an amalgamation. The cloud wave of darkness,
Singularity or solidarity?
Solidarity. She because of the failsafe that she had installed / activated, she wasn't really sucked into the realm of darkness like so much other matter was. So, despite it being a literal passage of trillions of years, because time doesn't work on that other side of the balance, she was technically fine for trillions of years. Even though it was mostly a blink of the eye / she doesn't want to think about it.
Right.
But she emerged, and then she began expanding. And technically, from all of this... Ooh, Mithril Spear. Nice.
Very nice.
But from all this, she is now a living universe. And more importantly, she's still an ever-expanding universe because she broke the hourglass. There wasn't supposed to be an individual soul that still had full awareness and identity and stuff like that. So she kind of broke the cycle, and now there's just eternally one universe full of light and darkness, aka the Kingdom Hearts universe.
Yeah.
And, of course, as something or someone that was kind of pulled apart / stuck in all this, she actually has a Heartless, and she actually does have a Nobody.
Obviously.
And they're like two of the big balancers of the universe as a whole, because there are Heartless there, but then they have been trying to conceptually make it so that the Heartless are stable, so there are Heartful, and there are Nobodies, but then there's also Somebodies.
Okay.
And they're individuals who have merged with willing individuals who basically give up their hearts to become a new entity conceptualized between the two souls that were put together in this situation.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's just the rest of the universe. And, in typical Kingdom Hearts fashion, they're spread all over. There's some weird mechanics on how to get to all over the place. But TLDR, her entire setting is just full of video game worlds.
Yeah.
Her right foot is Mario. Her left foot is Sonic, for example. Her left hand is Lambie and the Cult of the Lamb kind of stuff. Her tongue is Cookie Run Kingdom. you know, and it's so on it goes, pretty much. And there's a potential for any number of different kind of settings to be in there. After all, we know for a fact that it doesn't quite matter what rules the setting follows itself. You still can end up having an undertone of light, darkness, and Final Fantasy spellcasting.
Yeah.
You know, so even though Ember, one of my other characters, is from the Sonic setting, she's still perfectly capable of casting Faraza, for example.
Hmm.
And Lambie, who's also, again, from that setting, she could easily cast Gravija, you know, if she wanted to. Of course, Lambie technically belongs to Eno, to be fair, but... scheming. My throat is dry! Oh no, that's Chaos Talisman. I already have a Chaos Talisman. Never mind.
Let's see what.
Yeah,
other...
no thanks. I don't want to be an even saltier bastard. Aura says, be thankful we don't live in Utah.
Right.
My aunt lives in Utah near Salt Lake City. And I've visited a few times. I've gone skiing a few times over there. I don't want to go there. I don't have anything against Utah or the Mormons or anything like that, but my aunt was connected to the Mormons because her husband was formerly a Mormon, and then my oldest cousin over there decided to marry a Mormon, but even they are leaving them and everything like that. It's like, okay, that's the whole thing.
Ah.
You know?
Yeah. I remember when I used to live near Death Valley. My asthma was not happy.
Oh, looks like Dagron paid you, Fox.
Hmm?
Looks like Dagron paid you.
Oh, that's good.
That reminds me, I need to refill the humidifier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Let's see who else is over around here. Get some Pathfinder, Poke News, some Memory. Ooh. Keys. And always remember to clean those things once a week, or yikes. Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. Then I remember when I used to have to take those breathing droplets for my asthma.
That was fun, I bet.
It looked like a humidifier, but it was attached to a tube and you had to breathe through it.
Oh, I've seen those kind of things before, yeah.
Yeah. that I think that became almost a daily thing for a while. Then it became a weekend thing. And now I no longer really need it.
Well, that's good at least. Let's see. 2 mithril spears. Lots of frickin'... Lots of herbs. Holy hell, these things are dropping a lot.
It's too bad they can't be consolidated.
Yeah, I don't have an herb pouch at the moment. I didn't expect to get so many, so that's just like one of the reasons. And then I still haven't worked on my herb lore, because I know that's going to be like the most Nightmarish one to deal with. Like, I made some pretty good progress on rune crafting thanks to Guardians of the Rift, but I'm still only 45 in rune crafting. And right now, I'm working on Basilisk. Hunter's at 60, Agility's at 56. I need to get construction up pretty decently. But for right now, I want to just get level 60 in all of my combat stats, because then I know I can definitely start trying to tackle the barrows. And if I can tackle the barrows, I can tackle the brothers. And if I can tackle the brothers, I get their gear. And if I get their gear, I get flat out some damn good fucking upgrades.
Really?
Well, yeah, so the barrows have the lowest level bosses for me to tackle. Their gear is universally good to the end game because of all their different effects and stuff. The only problem is that they are gear that degrades over time. See, let me think here. I think the thing is that the barrows gear will work for a total work for a total of 15 hours of combat before they fall apart. So the idea is that you're supposed to obviously have other pieces of gear to swap to. Otherwise, you're gonna break the things, and then I think it's possible to fix them, but it might actually be hilariously easier to just run the barrows and get more of the gear. But the problem is that the barrows have different layouts to which brothers spawn when, and then of course you have to get lucky on the drops. So yeah, that's a little difficult. But I can start wearing some pieces of the barrows gear at 60 universal combat for attack, strength, defense, ranged. You know?
Yeah.
And then some of them will make me wait for 65, and one of them will make me wait until 70. But if I have it, that's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been waiting long enough to get my gear fully upgraded to the next range. So, Slayer it is.
Slayer it is.
Slay, Queen, slay. Yes, Queen.
Slayer away.
Slayer away.
Chinchampa?
Chinchampa is going to be done for the sake of defense. In a little whiles. Well, you know, slice of cake. There we go. Surprised these guys aren't aggressive by default. Let's take a look here. Cave crawlers, rock slubs, cockatrices, pyrofiends, basilisks, jellies, Protoroc, Kurask, and Caress. Oh, okay. I think most people say to avoid the Protoroc and Kurask for grinding.
Who knows?
It's all experience and grinding and stabbing to me. I also looked it up officially, and it's like the Slayer XP I get per kill is based on their HP.
Yeah.
So I was getting 50 HP from all those dragons that I was killing earlier, and I'm getting 75 from the basilisks. I could have gotten like 140 XP per dragon if I was able to kill the blue dragon straight up, but no. Let's see here. 265. Okay, I'm still not quite in range of getting a defender though, sadly. Well. I see that Inu is scheming. Well. Oh. Let me get up and stretch a bit. Oh. I was in that car seat for so long. Oh, that was my spine.
Yep, gotta stretch your body. When you're sitting for a long stretch of time, atrophy can take control.
It would be a catastrophe. You were traveling, Logan? Yes. So extensively today. From around 9 a.m. till 7:30 p.m. I was either heading out of town, or returning to town. It was sort of kind of for my job, sort of kind of for my father's sake. It's one of those convoluted, tangled things. Okay, so I'm an audio engineer in terms of my day job. So what we were doing is that we were going to the Digico. We were going to a location operated by Digico to look at some of their latest boards. The 225 and even the 335 was in the room, for example. No, not 25. The 224 and the 236. No, 238. 338. Sorry. Long story short, the naming conventions of a lot of digital boards are incredibly convoluted, and there's no linear explanation for half of them these days. But we were going up there to look at the boards and to just basically play around with them, frankly. So that way I could get some on-hand experience with it all, because I'm more so a kinetic learner. So it's all nice that they have these really well written, manuals. Doesn't mean jack at all if I can't actually poke the board, So, and the other thing is we're trying to get these boards, the Digico ones, for an upgrade to my venue that I work at. So, it was a many-fold thing. My father wanted me to get some more on-hands experience with different kind of boards to work with. We wanted to really actually see these boards to see if they were going to fit at the venue that I work at. And then we wanted to talk to the representatives there to say, hey, what's the reasonable price range and opportunities that we could potentially have to get these boards installed. And it all worked out super well, to be blunt. We had to drive 3 hours north from 9 to 12 in the rain a little bit as we passed through 2 states and got into Dutch County, Pennsylvania, because that's where they're located. I've been talking way too much. Oh, God. Excuse me, folks. I apologize for that one. But then we just, you know, had a little presentation given to us by one of the really good representatives, and then we actually sat down for lunch with them, had some more talks, shared some stories, powwow and stuff like that. And then we went back, poked around a little bit more. I asked some non-direct questions about the board and stuff because I just know how my coworkers are. And then we had to drive home, which was thankfully not rainy, but it was getting dark. And we sort of dodged rush hour, but we could not dodge all of the traffic that was still building up due to construction and the like. So, yay, construction. My god, how many freaking herbs? I'm gonna like legitimately need to actually pause all this in order to go somewhere and get rid of all these herbs. Jesus. Well, at least I got another level of strength coming up soon. Just a little hint there before, just a dash. I do not want to do travel for my job. Well, okay, correction. I was maybe interested in it previously until about this year and everything like that, and now I'm just kind of like in this kind of negative funk about my job. On the one hand, I can still thoroughly enjoy it. On the other hand, it is so much a 9 to 5 now to me. Ugh. Just ugh. I can't. I really hate all of the back room and everything like that that's been building up inside of the place. I won't talk about it too much, at least this stream. But it's gotten very complicated, especially due to the passing of the previous owner, who was he was very strict on spending, but he was honestly a very good organized boss, and he kept things under control. Without him, his partner, his business partner has been causing problems, and the owner's wife took over his share of the business, and she's been at war with the former business partner basically over a bunch of stuff. The venue's still open, still running. It's just it's getting frustrating. Also, frankly speaking, my direct boss is an asshole. He's one of those guys. He's got a lot of flaws, but he's like, to be blunt, he's a bit of an asshole. And my father and I are advancing, or trying to advance, the systems that the club has to work with. And we just need to do these sort of things in general anyway, since things are starting to wear down too much. And there's not good repair service for these things anymore due to a number of reasons. But is my direct boss man going to talk about it, allow it, / be okay with it? Nope. And he's gonna whinge and whine about there not being a budget and don't bother. The wife and the business partner obviously doesn't really care about this sort of stuff, so he's just kind of like naysaying everything. And then the worst part about it is that he is one of those Illuminati conspiracy theorists following you know, hobbyists, and he thinks that all technology is the work of the frickin' devil. And he's about as competent as someone who would appropriately believe that sort of bullshit when it comes to this all. Because I have never seen someone be so inept at handling emails, phone calls, and his own damn job as much as my boss. And that's with some very uncomplimentary times when my father has just seemingly completely abandoned his brain for the sake of being an obstinate old man over writing emails. You know, but at least that's his age showing. Whereas my boss man is just like, I don't need to use email. I'll just call them. You know, they gotta answer me. And that's the only way. That's the only way we'll get real things done. Don't get me started on trying to imitate that guy's voice. I will do a very stupid imitation for hours over that guy. My God, I have so many freaking herbs. What the hell? Well, at least I'm not dying. Actually, that's actually a net. That's not a net positive. Also, once again, hello to the After Dark stream in which I am doing whatever the heck I want with no real rhyme or reason or logic, and half of that is a whole lot of rambling.
Yep.
Yep, and Fox Spencer's already used to it.
Well, obviously.
Obviously.
Do you remember the hour-long tirade you went over WoW?
Don't get me started on Warcraft. Not dying is always a net positive. Yeah. You won't? Yes, good. Run away. Flee. Fly.
Like, yeah, apparently, apparently all the head people in WoW are basically apologizing for Shadowlands.
I mean, they kind of really should.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of really should. I'm not trying to pick on them, for the record, but I'm glad they're kind of owning up to. Oh wait, no, that was low level alchemy. Where's high level alchemy? What the fuck is? There it is. Oh, 5. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Now we'll just. But yeah, I mean, at the very least, I could definitely say that Shadowlands is something someone needs to apologize for. Cut to that one spoof from South Park. We're sorry. We're sorry. Sorry. We're sorry. Well, actually, that's not what current Blizzard is trying to do, and they're trying. I'm glad they are. Why are there 6 jugs of wine? You know what? Dibs. Fuck yeah, baby. I don't know what the deal is, but that's 6 jugs of wine, baby. Doop 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 doop. Okay, cool. Deposit all. And deposit 1 copper. Hey Logan, have you perchance ever heard of the Joel G. Ennas? I feel like you're trying to pull a pun on me, and I want to bonk you preemptively, but I don't quite get it. So the short answer is no? Question mark? I'm watching you, mister. Figure the fairy ring. I'm asking a general question. Squint. No, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about. Fishing, fur, fishing, fur, fishing.
Fishing for what?
I don't know. I should get my Dragon Girl drawn by Paige? Definitely. I really like Paige's artwork. Like, it's very good, it's very cute. He really knows how to draw quote-unquote big bully girls and everything like that. Obviously he's very good with paws, enough said. But the only downside is I feel like he's a little bit expensive. All full respect to any artist charging what they need to in order to survive, / you know, their time and effort and everything like that, but oof. But I mean, at the same time, he is legitimately doing a colored sketch for the stuff that he does, but at minimum, but still. Would you be good if I threw a video that has a character in it to get what I'm talking about? Sure. Go right ahead, Megan. There are so many characters I still need to get drawn. I have many pics of Molly by them. Yeah. Yeah, I know the pictures you're talking about. Molly's really pretty in all those. Osadia's Vinery? Maybe that's actually a good spot for me to loot some stuff for food. I also need more female characters.
Let's see.
I'm gonna abstain from answering that because I just know that I'm biased. More ladies for me to woo. Great Corend, but is there any Great Corend that I can teleport to? How about that? How about you let me teleport to someplace useful? Trust me, I've got many planned. Good. You say now only my Dragon Moth. Thank you still again for the Dragon Moth. Brain. Brain is a brainy brain. I will need you to allow whispers momentarily again to send to you. Somebody was able to whisper me earlier. Okay, here you go. Whisper away, I guess. What the hell? Okay, I guess someone really has been robbing. Banana. Ooh, pineapple. Wait, did I walk past the food stall? I walked past the food stall. Whoops.
You can't plant pineapples to grow more pineapple trees.
Well, pineapples are super useful. They're one of the better super compost makers, if I recall, from Settled.
Oh no, I know that. I mean, in general, like because how a pineapple grows another pineapple is literally you chop off the top of it and put it in the ground plant.
I see.
Actually, how people in California grow more pineapples. think some people confuse pineapple plants for cactuses sometimes.
I can kind of see that. Just stealing from the baker, because the baker makes some good stuff. Yoink, 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 yoink. Yoink, 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 yoink. Yoink, 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 yoink. Down, doggy, down. Okay, now I'm just gonna have to do this. Fine, I'll kill you too. Also, still waiting for the thing, Mega Man.
Mega Man says that you need to allow whispers.
I did. Twitch doesn't seem to want to allow me to whisper to you, so I'll probably just throw it in the Steam chat for you to view, not the Discord one. Yeah, sure, go ahead. That's fine.
And yeah, yeah, people confuse pineapple plants to agave, which is weird.
Huh. Oh, cool. Level 37 thievery. Let's see. What does that give me? Or does it give me anything? I can steal from cave goblins. And first stalls are the most recent. Alderan villas. And Pyramid Plunder Room 2. Alright. At some point I'm going to have to do some thieving. Thank you for the link.
Is it agave or is it aloe? I think it's more that people are confusing pineapple plants to aloe than agave.
Oh, her Friday Night Funkin' lady. Creepy. Creepy. Right, her. Yeah?
She's fun.
She creepy. Well, interesting, actually. Alright, and teleport. Huh. Everyone keeps saying that the Hex Maniac's older and with that look, but I think she's younger, actually. What the hell? The Hex Maniac, you know?
The new Hex?
The new Hex that everyone noticed and everything. Like, I still think that she's actually younger. Like, she's like a teenager one. Kinda hard to tell, though, you know?
Funnily enough, some people in Discord I'm in were going, oh, no, that is the Hex Maniac's daughter. So it's a new Hex Maniac, the new version of Hex Maniacs. But that means the previous will mom.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Fox, what have you done to my brain? Oh,
you
no.
already had a craving for them already, so it doesn't matter if I say anything differently or not.
That's a bullface line. You fucking know it, mister.
Uh-huh.
I love Hexamaniac, Aura. And I even have a OC who's a Hexamaniac. Her name is Selena. She's actually possessed by a spirit tome and everything like that, which leads to some wacky shenanigans as a result. But then, of course, with the Pokemon AZ stuff, there's one that's been cited and she's super fucking cute. But a lot of people seem to be depicting her as being like a MILF version of Hex Maniac. Whereas I also think that she is actually a younger version of Hex Maniac, or at the very least a good alternative. Kind of like how, during that massive leak a while back, we all got to see a general take on what beta Hex Maniac was supposed to look like. How that's a look all by itself, too. Yeah, I mean, looking at the image directly of this new Hex Maniac, she looks like she's supposed to be younger.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. But still, oh no.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh no. My wife.
This... Let's see, this is giving me the idea of...
Uh-oh.
Selena's cousin.
Yeah, possibly.
Or a niece.
I'm trying to think here, like, actually, how many years passes when it comes to Caspian Gene's storylines and the Rocketverse?
I don't know.
Only a few, to be fair, because, for... Damn it. Why? Why the evil cat? Feck off, you cat. You evil cat. Why aren't you dying? Die faster. I also noticed that the old Hexamaniacs look like witches. Oh yeah, I mean that, yeah. Alright, let's do this quick. Fuck off, Pete. Long tail. Ram with a short stibby. Yay, escape the prison. Cool. Random event done. What did he give me? Oh, he gave me 6 grimy toad flax. Are you kidding me? Okay, sure. Alright, back to it. But yeah, I love Hexamaniacs. They're so good. Grayscale and bright pink. Logan's in the missing texture room. Oh god, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Actually, so interesting fact about that whole thing with the cat named Evil Bob. He is like, I don't know what the full detail is, but he's like from an alternate dimension called Scape Room. And it's like he goes around causing all sorts of chaos in there and everything. And then he keeps coming over to ours and kidnapping humans to make as pets and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Obviously.
Obviously. Oh boy, come on. Yeah, well, I'm getting decent enough damage and everything like that. Ooh. Close that tab and everything like that to clear out some junk. There we go. Just doing basic combat is not too bad, actually. The agility grind was awful, frankly speaking. Largely due to the fact that I went into the wilderness for a while to try and grind on those, and my God, did it not work out well for me.
Yeah?
Well, it's the wilderness, so, you know, open world PvP is enabled by default, and there's not many ways to get around that.
Right.
And it was relatively peaceful, but someone kept world hopping into a little small area next to the entrance pipe for the agility course. And he would just pop in and instantly start trying to kill me. Yay! Like that's really what I needed, you know? It's like I am nude for the equivalent of nude inside of this game, frankly.
Heh.
And it's like I'm effectively nude, and this motherfucker instantly freeze barrages me and takes me out in like 2 hits. I have no armor, I have no gear. You know, it's like he just instantly player kills me, and I'm like, I can respect the idea that the wilderness is full of danger. So, frankly speaking, not surprised. But it's also like, the very first time that I went there, there was another person who stuck around with me for like an hour, hour and a half, as we both just casually ran this course. And I'm like, if I'm in the agility course, I'm just trying to grind some agility, right? Well, especially since I'm not wearing any fucking clothing or anything like that. So obviously, I'm not trying to be a threat or even like a target. But I didn't realize something about the agility training course in the wilderness.
Yeah?
You can pay. So how it works is you go into the agility course and you run a circuit. Then you go to this little vendor thing that exists inside of there, and it'll give you an agility training ticket, which you can then redeem in various amounts to get agility training on top of the agility training that you got from just running the course, which is real nice.
Obviously.
But what you can do also is you can also put like 150k into the vendor, and it will allow you to get rewards for every lap you do, with increasing degrees of reward per lap.
Oh?
And apparently you can make some pretty decent bang for your buck money per hour there.
Ah.
And the absolute most profitable thing in old school RuneScape? Player killing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I'm like, okay. Alright. Alright. Fine. Fine. But I just felt like, I don't know. The best way I could put it is just like, sometimes I think when you player versus player, you disconnect a chunk of your brain.
Yeah.
Because I was not being aggressive, I was not attacking, I wasn't even really paying attention to them, and was like continue on with the course until, of course, they froze me in place. And the only thing I did was try to put up a prayer buff to just block their bullshittery for a bit. And so I died like 2 to 3 times and went back to Lumbridge and ran all the way back with an iron dagger in hand, because, again, I wasn't doing anything I needed to do. Teleported over, ran over, went inside of all blah 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 blah, right? But no, I run back. I run like 2 laps. Guy world switches into position and kills me again. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, dude, kind of pointless. I managed that right before I die, and of course, obviously, I have no idea what his reply was, but it's like, congratulations, you earned nothing. Because the only things I dropped outside of an Iron Dagger when I died was tuna. I did not pay 150. I continued past go. There was no value in trying to X me. Yeah, I brought some food because if I failed any of the agility course things, I would take damage. And there are skeletons there that, although incredibly low level, would still auto aggro onto me. So it never hurt to have a way to heal from all that. So the first one to kill me got like 10 tuna. And then that's it. Congratulations. You have 10 tuna and like maybe 5 agility tickets. I don't even know if you even got the agility tickets, if you're ever honest. I don't know if that's an item that carries over. But it was like, oh, okay. You're just gonna be like that then, huh? Joy.
It would have been interesting if you had to go through the wilderness course again and just wore a lot of dead weight gear. So if they try to gank you for your loot, there's nothing. If you're gonna waste their time, you might as well make them waste it by filling up their pockets with rocks and such.
I mean, that was effectively what I did. Like, they wasted whatever potions, prayer points, magic, runes, and everything like that that was involved in casting that, quite frankly, really high tier spell, because I know where that Lunar Barrage thing that they used came from, and then they got nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, you tried to gamble, and I can respect the idea that there are people who will try to run around naked but have a full inventory of gear or something on them. I am not that kind of person, and yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a real shame that the wilderness is such a pain to deal with in general, too, frankly. Because it's a really cool concept of an area. It's just, well, it is what it is. You gotta have a PvP zone. I can respect that, actually. But, oof. Oof.
So how many more do you have to do?
I gotta do 61 more. Honestly, still doing pretty good.
How many have you taken down during this time frame?
About 60. I think my original starting task request was for like 120.
That's not too bad.
61 sounds like a bit. Sounds like a lot. No. Well, or maybe the starting point of a career as a slayer. Yeah, but
at the same time, we're just talking while you're doing this.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how everything's lining up, and it's lining up pretty nicely. Not gonna lie. Whew.
I'm trying trying to remember all the verses that we already had mentioned.
Well, let's see. There was all the Pokemon ones and everything like that. The Monster Verse as a whole. Oh, that increased strength and combat level. Nice.
Ooh. Progress.
That's gonna be... Yeah, I'd much rather... Yeah, I would really much rather have that. And also, Aura, some of these tasks will go up well into the hundreds of how many times I have to kill one. And that's actually really good. Like, truth be told, there are some that aren't worth it because they either have too much high defense or there's too many specific mechanics you gotta do to beat them. But actually, more monsters per task is, loosely speaking, some of the better ones to even get. Because what you're doing is you're killing all these things, and each hit gives you experience points. So, if they have a lot of HP, or if they actually have, like, you want high HP, low defense, so that way you can strike the monster pretty regularly, so that way you can then get the XP, and it basically builds up not only Slayer per kill, but also combat per hit.
Mm-hmm. And then you get your Slayer points as a reward at the end.
Alright, Mr.
Is it the Slayer points per monster that you defeat, or is it just a flat static number just for completing the Slayer quest?
Okay, so let's see here. So in terms of the XP, it's per monster I kill based around their HP. So, since the Basilisks have 75 HP, I get 75 XP per kill. Not counting, of course, however many times I hit them in order to build up my strength or attack or defense and everything like that, blah blah. But beyond that, then there's Slayer points. Now you can't get anything for the first 4 ones that you do when you start building up a streak. But once you reach that point, you then typically go to... You could do like really cheap ones super easily in order to just get to number 4. And then for the 5th one, you actually go to the legit vendor that you're going to focus on from, because that's where they assign the tasks from. And then they will then let you get some points from all the kills, but each one has a certain number of points that they'll give you because they're also all scaled around. And I think the... Actually, I can pull up the list. Where is he at? Slayer Masters. So, for example, the Bertharp and the Drainer Village Masters do not give out any points, period, for any of their tasks, because they're very straightforward, they're very simple, they're kind of located closely and everything like that. The Wilderness Master actually gives out the most points, at like, I think 25 points almost per kill, or assignment done. But it's Wilderness. So I'd have to go to the Wilderness Slayer Cave and all sorts of other different areas and everything like that. Not to mention, the monsters are really powerful, actually, instead of just being like another slightly gimpy mechanic fight, like how these guys need a mirror shield to battle against safely. And then there's just all the PKers. No way in hell do I want to get near the PKers. Also, I am getting Both cold and sleepy because of it. God dang it.
Oh no.
It's not the worst. I mean, I'm not stressed on it all because I do actually have work early in the morning, and I technically have been up now for
A long while.
14 hours.
You've only like slept for 3-ish?
Well, I slept beforehand a lot, and then, yes, I did have a nap before I drove and everything like that. Also, hi, Silver. Oh, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear your dog's okay and they're able to stay with you instead of staying over there.
Yay.
That being said, I know you're probably here for some night-night, so, hey, you know, I wish you a good sleep. Ugh. Honestly, I am really starting to feel it myself. The Arizona tea helped a lot, though.
Oh?
Yeah, grab the Arizona tea out of the fridge and sip that. That kind of helped me for a bit, but I mean, if anyone remembers the 12-hour stream I did on one of my Sunday streams, they'll remember how just kind of loopy I got and everything, and I'm starting to feel that.
Oh, you're... yeah, your first 12-hour stream.
That was a good one. That's why I feel like that's a pretty reasonable challenge to do for my followers, the subscriber goal. Because at least then I know it's going to be a challenge. Especially if I have to extend it to 24 hours. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for the cheer. Take care. Sleep well. Yeah, so, I will explain it again for everyone since it's not going to happen yet, not until I get 5 more subscribers. As a heads up for that. But when I reach 50 subscribers, since I have 110 followers at minimum, on top of that, I am going to schedule a 24 or a potential 24-hour Final Fantasy XIV stream. The concept is pretty straightforward. I set the clock for 12 hours, and I will pause whenever doing any non-stream related activities, such as getting food, making food, etc. And throughout the entire thing, as a miniature donathon kind of concept, you can donate, and for every dollar you do, that's a minute added to the clock. So in grand total, it would cost me like well, yeah, like, let's see, I think it's like $720 in total would have to be raised for me to basically turn into a 24-hour stream. Take care, T. Sleep well. But basically, you guys can pay towards it being 24 hours with subs, coffee donations. I'm not entirely sure about bits. I don't know how much they convert to in terms of monetary amounts. I know they do, but still. But when you do that, I'll add a minute to the clock per dollar raised, and eventually I'll hit 24. I have to unfortunately do it like this because realistically, I need to be able to cap it for the sake of potentially having to go into work and everything like that. So I'm gonna end up planning it on a day off to when I can. We'll also have some wheels for some general incentives and challenges and stuff like that. I don't actually know for certain what kind of challenges I'll really do, but I'll still try to do them. I'll also be running as Lalafell for the comedic sense of it all. And people will be able to join in if they want to, if they have the ability to.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of our friends play Final Fantasy XIV, you know? Maybe they want to create some characters to hop in and stuff like that, too.
True.
Because we won't be, like, keeping these characters, or at least, right now, that's not the direct plan.
True.
But, yeah, some wheels, 12 hours minimum, 24 hours in total. I still have to work after all, stuff like that. And it won't go to like a too extreme amount of money either. Like, from what I loosely calculated, it would, if for a grand total of 24 hours, to pay for the extra 12 hours, $720 are needed, for example.
Okay.
I might honestly, like, alter that so that way subscriptions are like double the value, for example, because like every sub is like $5, so that means 10 minutes instead of 5.
Makes sense.
But yeah. Also, I am starting to really feel EP.
Also true.
So I might actually just bank all this stuff and call it here, because I've already managed to get really darn close to strength 60, and sadly, defense is falling behind. Yeah, I'm EP.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens.
Yep.
Hmm? Aw, thank you, hon. Thank you for the sub. Spiky Bum Jolteon? Hey, that's Clippy! Well, shoot, Clippy just got a free subscription to me. That's nice. Also gotta get your damn emails going. Listen, I have a few ideas that I need to talk to you about. And I'll put the Ember ones in too, and later. I'm too tired for that. But
the battery is running out.
the battery is running out, and I'm ready to fall over on top of all of you.
Hey.
I'm gonna fall over and recharge all night long, and there's nothing you can do to remove the fluff pile. Oh yeah, if you had an early morning too before, I can totally relate. At least I'm floofy. Yes. Don't worry about it. You'll recover. You'll recover, Mike. My sober body doesn't use batteries. Well, maybe not he does, Mr. Fancy Pants. Well, yeah, he does. Mystic Mike? Increase your magical attack defense by 15. Increases your magic strength by 2. Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's definitely it.
Yeah.
I'll go back to killing basilisks in the morning if I have time, or maybe while I'm at work. But still, this was really nice. Thank you all, honestly, for just chillaxing with me during this After Dark stream. I'm glad I was able to squeeze a little bit of time in after this long day of not doing what I directly wanted. It ended up being very nice, but I still didn't want to necessarily do it, especially since there's that whole conflict of potentially not being at the job that he's doing all this stuff for. So, it is what it is. Since it's an After Dark stream, I am not going to do a raid. I could technically raid like Blur the Fur, but we'll just kind of end here. But really, thank you all for coming in and watching. I sincerely appreciate it. I did not expect this number. So yeah, it was real nice. So take care all. Well, tomorrow's Wonderlock with me. So, wait, what? Oh, you're doing the Wonderlock already? Oh. Well, shit. I'm gonna have to make sure I watch that.
Yeah.
Take care all.
Take care.
And congratulations on that, Inu. I hope it keeps going towards the end goal. Bye-bye.
Bye.